All right, it's Tap In with TT. Drewski's hanging out today.
Yeah, my guy's in the building, Davies.
Yeah.
So he had to pull up. You know, he normally doesn't.
That's my brother right there. You know what I'm saying?
We were
What's
hanging
up,
out
baby?
last night.
So first of all, I just want to say congratulations on the acting, okay?
Thank you.
Because you have now become one of my favorite actors.
Wow.
I told Denzel I was on him, man.
You
Told him.
are so amazing in that Wu-Tang special. Like,
Thank you.
you embodied that role. Like, how did you get really into character?
It was like a mix of things. Like, I grew up on meth, of course. You know what I mean? And I'm like a real Method Man fan. Like, you know what I mean? So then having my own relationship with him, being able to call him, talk with him, and ask him, yo, how I sound or how did I look? It kind of just gave me more confidence in that role.
Your swag was impeccable. You know what I'm saying? And you know, all ladies be calling Method Man Zaddy now that he's older. Like, he still got it, but when he was younger, he had it. Right. But you embody like the mannerisms, the swag. Even when you was like cutting the records, I was like, yo, you really stepped into this acting thing, man.
Thank you.
Are you going to take on more projects?
100%. I mean, it's very, very time consuming.
It is,
but I like it. I like the feedback from it. I like my kids seeing it, my mom seeing it. Like, it's dope.
And it's longevity in it. You know,
I think it just helped my brand, my name, my everything I got going on. It just kind of expanded it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And speaking of expanding, you got a new project out.
Yes. The title. Break that down because I still can't put it together.
Fortune favors the bold, man. It's I don't know. I feel like all my previous projects, or the majority of them, they had like one word, one word: survival, karma, paranoia. Like, so I really wanted to do more of like a movie book type of title, like, you know what I mean, something that I felt like would just be like a statement. And I did my research on like that phrase, and Alexander the Great said it first. Then I seen it was on John Wick's back, the tattoo that he got on his back, but it's in Latin. So I broke that down and seen what that meant. I just kept seeing it, like different places I would see it, and it really related to like myself as far as just being bold and never really taking no for an answer, and being like not overly confident, but just real confident in myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Never really having to follow a trend or follow what's going on. Like, I always felt mad confident in myself. So that title is like, it just fit me. Like, fortune favors the bold. Like, I happen to become very fortunate to reach a certain fortune by being bold, by being confident and standing on my passion and my craft. So I think the title just fit how I feel. Like right now, it just fit perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I was going to ask you, how has your music matured over time, you know, especially with this project versus your last project? I'm sure you've have experienced more things, more life.
Right. 100%. I feel like if you've been listening to me for maybe the last 3 to 5 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, you familiar with my oldest daughter, Kyrie. But I had another daughter, you know what I mean? Her baby sister, Kobe, she's 2 now. So just really being even more on the dad tip, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of changed. Well, it changed dramatically, like, you know what I mean? I have to give that a lot more time than I was doing before. Like, when Kyrie was a baby, I could love you.
Right.
Yeah,
you know
can
what I mean?
move around, yeah.
She's 7 now. So she asking me, where you going? Like, you know what I mean? She got her phone, she calling, like, you know what I mean? So just my growth as a father, and just my position in my household as far as my family, as me being a son, a brother, a dad, all of that just it changed, and it's growing. I'm just feeling more mature as far as just things that I feel is important in my life, you know what I mean?
And you both are girl dads, and I'm sure girl dads make you view life with a different perspective.
All the way different.
Yeah.
All the way. I'm an aggressive person, and with them, I gotta ease up. I can't, you know what I mean? I gotta naturally, even if they do something wrong, and I try to, you know, correct them or tell them what I tell them. If I do it in an angry way, I feel bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I gotta go be like, yo, I didn't mean that. Like I'm always apologizing. Like, you know what I mean? I know with boys, you ain't doing that. My pops wasn't apologizing to me for nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
Growing fast. Like 2 years old. He said she's already rocking her hips,
bro, she
dancing
doing
a little
she
Uzi.
doing the Uzi.
Yeah, like
Kobe is crazy. But you know what it is? It's ill because you see the difference in the second child. Like, she's much more
sharp,
up to speed because she got her big sister to
like
look out
Kyrie.
for her.
I was teaching. She was very intelligent and she caught on to stuff, but it was like we was teaching it. You know what I mean? With Kobe,
she feeding all.
I don't gotta say no. She get it. She speaks clearly. She tells you when she gotta use. Like, she's very.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So spanking is out of the question.
Yeah, I ain't touching it. Maybe a pop. Kobe, I gotta pop her, like, or threaten. Like, you want me to pop you? She be like, no, don't pop me. Like, Kyrie, I never had to touch ever.
Man,
ever.
I spanked my son one time. It wasn't even like a real spanking, and to this day, he reminds me of that. And let me tell you something. I felt so guilty that I never spanked him again. Right. And then everybody's like, "Well, you need to spank him." I'm like, if that one spanking made me feel this way, I do not need to hit my kid.
Does he overreact like as if you beat him? Like in his head, he feel like
he always be like, "Mom, do you remember that one time you spanked me and Dad had to come in the room?" Like I was like,
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she was whooping him.
Like you would have thought like I was killing him. Like that's the. And then ever since that, after that one spanking, I went in a room and I cried. And I was like, I never want to feel that way again. After the spanking,
guilty.
I went and cried. I wouldn't cry. And that's why I'm like, I don't spank kids. I just don't. I don't believe in it. I got my ass beat. You know what I'm saying?
I was getting killed.
Yeah.
I come from a spicy household. I was getting whooped left and right. But my only thing with that is like, you got whooped, so you a certain way, right?
Yeah.
I got whooped, I'm a certain way. That's the only thing I be thinking about. Like,
character. Like
thinking later on, like, you ain't never get your ass whooped ever. Like,
right.
I was nice to you your whole time. By the time you 18, you might be talking to me crazy because you don't even really know. Like, I always had that respect knowing my mom's would slap the shit out of me.
Right.
My pops would, like, I mean, they'll get with me.
But I
don't do that with my kids.
But I do feel like my son has a level of respect for me, of not wanting to disappoint me, that he thinks
it's
about.
more of that. I think it's the same with mine too.
Right.
They don't want to see me like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think they be more. Kobe, I think I might have problems with. Kyrie, she's cool. That's my like flower indigo child. She like nature and shit. Kobe is gonna be the, you know what I mean?
She's gonna be the one. She gonna be the one. Yeah. She gonna be the one to bring that boy home that you gonna have. She gonna
be like, yo, you dead ass. She gonna be that one. Or
are you gonna try for a boy?
Oh, I feel like all men want a boy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, you know what I mean? But I'm not in a rush. You know what I mean? I'm not in a super rush for that. I'm cool with my girls right now.
Yeah, girls are amazing, but boys they
love different. Yeah. Girls love different. You know what I mean?
Girls love their dads.
They love different. I love my father, but I see it like when I come home, like they drop whatever they doing. I'm like a superhero to them. You know what I mean? So that's a different vibe.
Right.
And how was your relationship with your parents growing up?
Me and my mom's, that's my twin all my life, best friend. Never had a argument with my mother. My dad, we had problems early, you know what I'm saying? But once I focused up, my dad was just a strong person in like education and not fucking up. Excuse my friend. Like he didn't want you. I mean, don't go to jail, don't get in trouble. He was one of them. Like,
you grew up
he did everything opposite of what his dad wanted.
Everything.
Everything opposite of what his dad wanted.
Everything he was saying, I went the other way. You know what I mean? And I feel like me and his relationship really strengthened as I became older. Like once I became a dad, and
I understood
right
all the way. I get his perspective on life, and I get his angle in raising me and my brother. Like, you know what I mean?
And how does that play through your musical journey? Those perspectives and
I think I talk about it a lot. I think if you really listen, I bring them up a lot. I bring up just different values and morals I got that came directly from my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like shit he taught me as I was growing up.
How did grandma play a role? Because the cover art is you and your grandmother.
Yeah.
Like,
she just passed. This is my first project I put out since she passed. You know what I mean? But that's my heart. You know what I mean? Since I was born. But she
what a great way to pay homage to her too.
Yeah, or I just
she was able to see You want the Wu-Tang.
She's seen everything but this album.
Right.
She even seen Kobe, my baby girl. Like,
oh yeah.
And she was my grandmother was damn near 90 years old. She was here.
She lived a good life.
She was here, and I don't think she went out sad or nothing. I mean, I think she went out cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. I want to talk about music and your passion for it, because like you said earlier, you've always been headstrong. You didn't follow trends. You stayed true to who you are, but most importantly, I think you stayed true to your fans, your day one fans, constantly giving and feeding your fans, and I think that's important. And how do you stay so focused on that as you see people or different artists try different things or jump on different sounds and things of that nature?
I think with me is one advantage I think I do have over a lot of people once they blow up or I stay in tune. I'm always tapped in with my community or where I'm from or what's going on in the streets type. So I feel like I'm always hearing the real opinions or the real, you know what I mean? Not the bloggers, not knocking nobody, but I'm hearing how they feeling outside. So I feel like that I always keep that in the back of my mind, and I always
because you know the difference. The internet sometimes ain't real versus what's happening in real life.
It's two different. It's the same world, but it's two different worlds. Like you know what I'm saying. And I'm more in tune with the other world, like not the internet. You know what I mean? I love the internet. The internet has done wonders for me, and I'm sure a million other people. But I got to go back to the streets. When I come outside, I can't. You know what I mean? I feel like the internet is when you're in the house. You know what I mean? You ain't really, you know what I mean? But when I step outside, I want to hear the real
opinions the real
and how people really feel about what's going on musically, about this artist, that artist. And I'm hearing all of that. And I when I go in the studio and when I'm creating, I'm thinking all of that. That's in my mind as well. As much as me wanting to create new sounds and work with new people and, expand my sound, that's still in the back of my mind. Like I got to stay true to what I know and what I've been doing. You know what I mean?
This project, whose crib was it you recorded at?
Pablo
Escobar. That's
my
pretty
boy.
ill. Yeah, that's ill.
That's so ill.
Got a
No, your tattoo.
The whole joint was...
Damn, it's 24 joints on there. I probably did 15 records.
Escobar crib.
In Medellin, yup. It was one of his like stash houses. He had a pool in the crib.
What was that vibe like? Tell us about. Walk us through that.
Crazy.
Off that plane, what was the energy like?
Different. That was my first time going to Colombia. Shout out to my boy Kapler. He out there.
And shout out to Camilo.
Camilo, of course. That's my dog. Camilo. But Colombia was a whole different vibe from the food, the weather, just everything. It was real militant out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm a big Pablo. It might sound crazy, but I'm a fan of him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know you saw the Narcos series.
Not all the destruction and all of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to promote that, but just him, his hustle and his
mentality to get it.
The way he, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of that, and I done watched any documentary they got on Pablo Escobar. I done watched it. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it, studied it. So to be able to go out there and be in a spot where he was at, I met his brother, his older brother. You know what I'm saying? So that was just a experience in itself, and then I was able to create, like make music. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that made it like, this is crazy.
What made you get that vision in your head? This is like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna record to get in that zone.
All right. So Mike and Keys, that's some home team producers from LA. I met them through Nip. Rest in peace, Nipsey. And we was talking. They was sending me beats. I'm like, yo, bro, we need to lock in, but I don't want to do it in LA or New York. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Let's go somewhere. Because I remember with the Wu shit when Ghost and them, I forgot what they were.
I was just about to say, you took the whole joint. You took that whole vibe from Raekwon.
They left. Like, I'm like, you know what? That might be dope. Like, let's just get out of here. A few of us, me, producer, get somebody with the camera, and let's you know what I'm saying? And my boy Hood, shouts to my brother Hood. He locked in with the guys that's out there, and we put it together. We went out there. Millie's too. Big shout out to Millie's. Millie's came out there with me. He was already type locked in out there. To be honest with you, like That's when I first was seeing it. Like, bro, what you doing in Colombia? Like, nah, it's a vibe out here. Like, I'm like,
That's where Blanco comes from.
yeah, that's where the Pablo and Blanco. You know what I mean? But Millie's, he was going out. I would see on his story he in Colombia. I'm like, bro, who do you know in Colombia, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, you doing something I don't know? Like, what's going on? But Millie's, big shout out to Blanco. He really was like, come on, let's come out here. So from that, I reached out to Mike and Keys. I said, bro, let's go out there and work on the project. Like, let's get the crib set up. It ain't too many people gonna deny. You know what I mean? Go against that. He like, hell yeah, let's do it.
How long did
and
you
it was
stay out
fire.
there for?
Maybe 5-6 days.
Nice.
Like
and you completed the entire album?
We was cooking. Like off the wake up. I would wake up, come downstairs, Mike and them be making beats.
Wow, that's
record
incredible.
me right there. We had the chefs in there, they be making breakfast, cook, take a break to eat, go right back to it. Smoke, vibe, might get in the pool, go right back. So I'm doing like 4 or 5 songs a day. Wow. Like a lot of songs didn't even make the project. You know what I mean?
So are you writing stuff down, or you just? I'm curious to know your recording process. Do you or you go off the dome?
For maybe a year or 2, I wasn't writing. Just being around like honestly, like being around like
Styles,
Meek, Styles for sure.
Styles.
But just certain Styles don't write nothing. So when I did Beloved, that was like, oh shit, he ain't writing nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be in my phone and I see him just walking around, putting his rhymes together. I'm like, I gotta try that. So I could do both. But I know me personally, I get real intricate and personal when I write. When you write. When I sit down and zone, I get away from people. I go sit in the corner. Yeah. I can easily do it just off memory and remember it and just put it together. But if I go sit and write, it's gonna be different.
A better body of work. Wow, did you get any trouble out there in Colombia? You know
no. I ain't see the police. None of that. I was all the way. I ain't gonna front. We had fun. You know what I mean? It's impossible to go somewhere like that and I had fun, but I was focused up and I had a good team around me that was really excited to be making music. Right. You know what I mean? Like somewhere else. Like we was out of America, whole different vibe. Yeah. We not speaking the language. You know what I mean? Like everything was just different. You gotta know Spanish over there. Spanish. You know what I mean? And they speak a different Spanish than Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. Like the hood, the shit I know, they speak a little different. Hood knew it. Yeah. But he was my translator over there. But that was definitely a experience as far as creating an album. You know what I mean?
So you go through that. Do you start planning like, now the next one I'm going to Japan or like
we got to go somewhere fly, Drewski. Right. You know what I'm saying? We got to. It's only right. Now I feel like I done started that. I don't want to do nothing in New York no more.
Now because you know the difference. Yeah, you know the difference. Who would you like to work with? Because you worked with so many artists, and you worked with artists that are like real fucking spitters. You know what I mean? You have like the biggest cosign in the world from Nas, who don't co-sign a lot of people at all as we celebrate Hip Hop 50. If you really think about like the history, doesn't really like do it. So you know when he does something, it means something, right? So for you to have one of the biggest cosigns, and for you to work with some of the greatest, you know, who else is out there that you can like? Can
I say mine before he says his?
Okay.
Because he's big on what the streets feel. I think everyone's waiting for the Davies J. Cole record.
Me and Cole? Shouts to Cole, man. Cole, that's the homie. I fuck with Cole.
Is it in a can?
I'm saying
we ain't
everyone knows they cool.
Yeah, that's the homie.
And
you know what it is?
That's what I'm wondering. Is it in a can and y'all holding back on
He ain't the type to like press it. So it's like when it happens, it happens.
You know me.
Right? So
you want to take the trip to North Carolina? Like what's happening?
I'm hearing that's how you got to get the verse. Like, I'm finding out that's how you get the verse. But no, Cole's super cool. I've been a fan of his forever. You know what I'm saying? And he's somebody that like when I finally got with him in person, he was, you know what I mean? He didn't give me none of that Hollywood weirdo. So he is super down to earth. He really gave me his opinion on what he felt like would better my career.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists don't do that. You know what I mean?
He's good at that, and he's also really good at giving artists the right records. Like what he did for Thug, what he did for even Lil Durk recently.
Right. Yeah. That's a joint.
Yeah. By the way, I don't think I ever shared this story, but maybe I have. You know, Cole almost hit me with his bike outside of the radio station.
Word. He was speeding on that joint.
He was speeding, looking like a homeless man.
You was
on that bike lane, man.
I was rushing. I had my backpack on, and then he's like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then I look up. I'm like, it's J. Cole. I'm like, bro.
Fuck it, go ahead, hit me.
That's what I said. If anybody can hit me with a bike, it could be you, J. Cole.
Run me over.
But nah, I think that collab would be so fire because you guys can really go bar for bar. Right. Yeah.
They both spend time in Queens, so they got that. Like,
I think it's a matter of timing. You know what I mean? Like when that time is right, you know what I mean? I think it'll happen.
Yeah. Let's talk about this store you got in New York that you was putting me on.
Yes,
to.
that you ain't been to, man.
Okay, so I
From
need to
the
go
deli,
there.
145th St. Nick, if you ever in Harlem, you know what I'm saying? If you're not in Harlem, come uptown one time, Sugar Hill.
Because you know people love your fashion, right?
You know, I try.
You fly.
I be trying.
So it's clothes, sneakers.
Sneakers, merch,
some gas up there.
You know, it's you know.
Yeah.
And it's like a store and like a clubhouse.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop. I'm gonna say that, like, you know what I mean. Everything
now that I
you need.
officially got the invite, I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah,
so
we open.
I got the
Monday
pull
to
up.
Sunday, 12 to 12. You know what I'm saying?
I got the invitation to your party officially tomorrow.
So now if you miss, it's
on me now.
it's on
Now
you.
I'm about to show you how I turn up.
Gangster.
She gonna go to the store
We
and
good.
the party
And the
the
party.
same day.
My one last question for you before we wrap up today is the acting. Let's go back to acting because I always wanted to ask you this. What role would you want to play if you can dream of one major acting role?
What role would I play?
Like if you have your dream role, like if you can do like, I don't know, Denzel or like a help me out, work with
Like a remake type thing.
like a remake type
If they were gonna,
If I could remake something or my dream role. Let me see.
Is it a villain? Spider-Man?
I really think it would be it would either be like a Marvel character or like a horror film. Something. I'm a big horror. I love scary movies. You know what I mean? So,
and you love the ID channel. We got that.
you know what I mean? Like, so I think something like that. And I feel like that would be like a space that you're not expecting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that would throw people off. But I would either do something with horror or some Marvel Avenger. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
I can see that because you got the skills for it.
I do one of them.
Yeah.
Or a comedy. I'm mad goofy, so
yeah.
I think I could be in a comedy. Like maybe not be the main comedian, but I could be in some funny shit.
Yeah. I love that.
yeah.
All right, it's Dave East, everybody. My question for you. I know we gotta go, but my question also one last thing. Do you watch the ID channel before you go to sleep?
I watch it all the time.
Because you know they say if you fall asleep to the ID channel, you got a little bit of psycho in you.
I watch it all the time. I think you know what it is. I think it keeps me on point for the world.
You be knowing.
You know what I'm saying? You be thinking this person ain't gonna do that. I be like, nah. I just seen somebody on the ID shit that did that. Like,
and you can follow court cases and be like, mistrial.
Yeah,
I don't watch none of it.
I watch all that forensic files. That's the best shit on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Dave East, everybody.
Thank
Tell
y'all,
everybody where the album, everything. Give everything out.
Fortune Favors the Bowl available now. Harlem, we
it's
here.
Dave East, everybody. Thank
go.
you. Thank you for stopping by. You've been amazing.
TT Love, man. Drewski, my brother. You know that.
All right, tap in with TT. It's Hot 97.